Well, I have a feeling the Evolution Square is not going to like this episode. Let's find out why.
Hello and welcome back to Triple Gaming with me, Fletcher.
And my review of episode 3 of Prehistoric Planet, which I have again literally just finished watching. Before we get into that review, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for further content from us at Tricle Gaming and further reviews on Prehistoric Planet. And we're at the halfway point with episode 3, Freshwater. And how would I describe this episode in one word? Well, I can describe it in two. Baby murder. More baby murder, in fact. I think this episode was much better than the deserts episode that we got yesterday. There's a lot more variation in animal here, and I think it's just a bit more of an interesting episode overall. The episode starts with the return of our infamous velociraptors from the previous episode, again sporting their feathered plumage, and this time we get to see a female in the white and a male in this nice brown plumage. We have a scene of them hunting pterosaurs on the side of a cliff, using their feathers to slow down their descent and such. It is again speculation, but it does seem to make sense to me. I don't mind that. And it's actually nice to see some dinosaur hunting behaviour. Something I have noticed so far in this series is we haven't really seen many sort of dinosaur hunting another dinosaur scenes. We haven't seen many dinosaurs killing other dinosaurs scenes, apart from the occasional mating fight. There's been none of the sort of carnivore attacking herbivore and eating it scenes. So it's nice to see some actual hunting from our carnivores here. There is this wonderful bit where the female velociraptor suddenly appears from above all these pterosaurs and jumps down on them, and I couldn't help myself but go in my head, clever girl. So it's nice to see the raptors back again. And moving on from the velociraptors, we have the return of our Tyrannosaurus Rex here, having killed a Triceratops. I have to say, the Triceratops, even though it's dead, I love this frill that it's been given. The T-Rex, it's in the episode, it's almost kind of sad. This Rex is kind of an old soul. He's an older male and he's been injured over the years. He's even lost the end of his tail, which did make me go up. Feel sorry for the poor guy. He's been injured killing this Triceratops as well, with this gouge in his leg. And the episode sets up that perhaps he might be in trouble when this female arrives, but then they do this wonderful sort of mating display where they show each other the undersides of the neck, which is clearly based on alligators again as a real world reference, and they give them these deep sort of growls that they make when they're doing so. But it's probably the most romantic T-Rex thing I have ever seen, where they, at the end of the display, they nuzzle each other. It's just cute and romantic, and it's nice to see Tyrannosaurus Rex not being depicted as a senseless, pointless murder machine, as some of the negative reviews for this show are trying to argue. If you want pointless, senseless murder machines, go watch Jurassic World. Moving on from the Rex, we then see what is probably the show stealer for this episode, the Deinonychus, and it looks fantastic, covered in all of these feathers with this huge bill. It's definitely, I think, sort of the distinctive dinosaur of this episode, just because it looks so alien and so different. And we have this nice moment of it dealing with itchy blood-sucking flies, and it rubs its back on this tree with this kind of humorous music beat. It's very wholesome. It's a very wholesome scene and very reminiscent of like big bears stupidly rubbing their backsides on trees. We also get to see Quetzalcoatlus for the first time, and no, I'm not going to try and say that name again, laying eggs. Now, I don't know of any other dinosaur documentary I've seen where the pterosaurs are depicted as laying eggs. This is kind of new territory. Now, something they've mentioned a few times is that pterosaurs have leathery eggs, that they're soft and they lay leathery eggs. I've never heard of this before, and I'm going to have to go away and do some research on where this comes from. Because I've not heard of this theory before. The big problem with this scene though is we get more baby murder. Another female Quetzalcoatlus comes along and smashes up the nest and kills destroys all of the eggs and has to be fought off. And it's swiftly followed by a scene of these I don't know how to pronounce the name of this creature. Hang on a minute. So I've just gone away and looked up the species list online. It's supposed to be a Maziochaisaurus, which I thought had a very distinctive curve to its bottom jaw. It's a dinosaur from Madagascar, and it was actually one of my top dinosaur species mods for Jurassic World Evolution 1. But as far as I know, it has a curved lower jaw. Now either that's been disproven now, or they haven't depicted these as accurate to the fossil record. Don't know. But in this particular scene we see it hunting crabs, and then one of its really tiny young gets captured by a Beelzebufo, the giant prehistoric toad. It's grim, it just grabs it by the tongue, and that's that. I'm sure Ark Survival Evolved fans will rejoice at seeing one of their beloved supersized animals on screen, but it's another baby murder, I'm afraid, and pretty ghastly one at that. Towards the end of the episode, we have some elasmosaurs who are just depicted as swimming up this river to hunt some fish. We don't really get much time with them, and they look very similar in CGI model to the plesiosaurs we had in the first episode, the Tarangosaurus. Yeah, it's a shame we don't get to spend more time with them. I do love the stripes they have going down the back. It's a really nice skin. What do I think my overall opinion is of this episode? Better than the deserts episode for sure. It felt like more happened in it, and it felt like we got more different behaviours in it for sure. We also got, the return of some famous species, which on the one hand is nice. It's nice to see the Velociraptor and T-Rex get some more screen time. But on the other hand, it is reusing dinosaurs we've already seen, and perhaps there were alternatives that they could have used in dinosaur species, especially in large carnivores. So I hope we don't get too much repetition of species in the future 2 episodes that we've got to go. I suppose at this halfway point in the series, it would be worth thinking about what my overall opinion is so far as we are over the hump, as it were. I think the series is good. It does have some drawbacks. I do agree with Evolution Square, who in her reviews has been saying that the obvious real world animal links does take her out of it, and I do agree with her. It was especially prevalent in the second episode. This third episode, I would say there aren't as many real world animal copy behaviors. It's definitely better from that perspective for me. I'm interested to see what they do with the next episode. The next episode is a snow episode, basically an ice episode, and I have a feeling there'll be quite a lot of speculation in it, but I'm curious to see what they do with it. And obviously episode 5, which I don't actually know what episode 5 is. Answers in the comments if you do, because I haven't seen what that is. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think about episode 3 and what you think about the series as a whole. And if you have seen any of these negative reviews cropping up for the show, tell me what you think about some of the negative publicity this is getting. In the meantime, do check out the other videos on the channel and the streams that we have been doing all week. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you have not done so already. And I'll see you tomorrow for episode 4. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.